Welcome to another 1 versus 1 battle commentary, this time on Galician rear. My opponent is Flavius, a player with a steep career in Napoleon Total War, since within short time he became a pretty good player. His example shows what development of skill is possible by ambition and playing competitive games with experienced players. He is the defender in this game and uses the Ottoman Empire. And we will have a look at his army in a second. I once again play as France with my standard build without the 6th Régiment d'Infanterie Légère. Instead, I picked one more Chevaux Légère lances. So I have 2 lances, 4 Chasseurs Chevaux, the 3 Polish in the middle for this area where I probably need the melee abilities of the Polish troops. I have my 3 Swiss foot on the left to contest this forest, and my 3 more elite troops in shooting, so the 2 old guards and the 18th Régiment d'Infanterie de Ligne for my right wing, because I want to advance on this side using this forest to overflank him. And my voltigeurs are in the middle and on my left. I don't need them on my right, since I want to push there, and the voltigeurs are rather defensive. So yeah, I want to deploy stakes to prevent his cavalry from charging my weaker lines all the time. So let's go. You can see my deployment. I sent my lances into the village and my chasseurs cheval into the open. I want to use this this edge of the hill, since I thought that he will bring a lot of shooter cuff, what he did, but not as much as I supposed he will. He has 2 swords with 3 upgrades and 2 heavy cavalry, 1 Seelater guard and another Seelater guard, and 2, 3, 4, 5 mounted rifles from the Nizami Chedid. 3 of them are leveled up once. And he has Ibrahim Pasha, the 3-star general. I sent my lances through the village into the flank of the mounted Nizami Chedid. He sent his Seelater guard there, but they were not yet in position, and they came up the hill just now, while I already was on the top of the hill and got a good charge on his Seelater guard, but I still lose the charge, since the Seelater guard is heavy cavalry and lancer cavalry at the same time. But I got a good charge into the flank of the mounted rifles here, and I engaged the mounted rifles with my chasseurs cheval, which is bold by my cavalry, but doomed if I stayed long in here without going into melee. So that's why I go into melee now, to bring chaos into his cavalry formation, so he can't shoot as he wants anymore. I charged my 2nd Chevaux Légère Lancer into the back of the mounted rifles as well, and I tried to bring chaos into his cavalry force. He formed squares with his 4 Nizami Chedid, and I did the same with my Polish troops. My Swiss foot arrives here, and I lose morale, and since I'm outnumbered in numbers and in units, so I retreated my cavalry behind my squares and hoped that he will follow me, but he didn't, so well done by him. The good thing is that he killed my lances. The bad thing for him is that my elite troops are on my right, as I wanted them to be, and he is not yet in position. I'm slightly behind the ridge with my Polish troops, and my Vosges arrived in the to back them up in the middle, as well as here my Swiss foot arrived. As first swords are coming, and I form squares to defend against the mounted rifles. He wanted to shoot, not to charge, but to shoot from close distance, but he had not enough men to do a lot of damage by this maneuver. I moved closer with my Vosges in the middle, and yeah, planted some stakes here. He saw that I'm retreating my Swiss foot and retreated his Janissaries again, but I see this quickly this time, and yeah, I sent them back into position. I also deployed some stakes over here with my Vosges and retreat my Polish Legion in the middle to let my Vosges take over. He again sends a mounted rifle unit to shoot, not to charge, but they suffered the volleys of both of the Vosges units. So and he only shot at the Vosges behind the stakes. He built up some defensive formation and has still his elite cavalry around, and also sends the second sword unit to his left. So I'm not attacking yet on my right, since I have a good position with my light infantry, and he has no light infantry. So that is very nice for me. I can make him, or at least I thought that I can make him shoot my lights behind the ridge and stakes for a bit of longer time, but he stopped firing. So nice, well seen by him that he can't hit much. And again, the swords are coming for my weak left wing. I double lined with my Swiss foot down here to increase the firepower against this Nizamichidid infantry. I moved the Vosges here into close combat and killed some of the swords, and now I'm retreating again. His Zealot Guard is incoming, but he charged through some stakes, and my squares are awaiting him, and my Sir Cheval come here to kill his Janissaries. They got a good shot of and hunt them on their way back to their lines, and I retreat my cavalry again and reform my formation, since it like my left wing, since his Zealot Guard is out of the game. He also moved up on the right with his Zealot Guard incoming now, but my old guards are in square. He is going for my small Chasseur Cheval back here, but I managed to get a shot off on them, and they are out of the game now. The Vosges are coming here again to use this terrain to fight his troops in the forest. His swords did a fake charge over here to push me back, but he retreated them again, and I take position in the village with my 18th Regiment Infanterie de Ligne and the Old Guard. He counterattacks with his small mounted rifles, but the Old Guard got a volley off and formed square, and this is the end of this unit. And now the swords are incoming, but again without cavalry reinforcements here, and they get charged by my 19 chasseurs cheval. The general is also too far away. He is fighting 2 old guards here and only has the 3-star general in a 1v1 against France. So if he attacks with his swords, then he needed to have his general very close to the action, and this is really too far away. To, and the swords which broke with 73 were running, and this inflicted moral problems on all his left-winged units. And this is the time to approach. So I go closer to make more damage within a short time with my good units. He sends his cavalry and his remaining mounted rifles here to strengthen his morale, and his 73 Janissaries also came back into the game. I saw that this is a problem with the mounted rifles behind his troops now, so I can't attack here. So I went through the middle and went closer in the middle with my lights to shoot his squares, and made him form square over here as well. The swords are coming again, but they did not rest, so even before reaching my line, they are already tired. And I still have another chasseur cheval over here and another one here, but on my left, on my right, my right-wing chasseur cheval attacked the Janissaries again, and they suffered 30 men casualties, so they will not make it to meet my old guard in melee. The next mounted rifles are coming here, but I formed squares with my old guards and charged them into the flank. And the second sword unit attacks my left wing. I'm not in a good position, since I'm very busy here. But they are heading for my voltiges in the middle, but my Polish troops are ready to shoot them, and my Swiss foot is a backline down here as well. So they suffered many casualties, and once again the general is too far away to boost the morale of his sword unit. But this time they arrived in my lines and inflict many casualties with this downhill charge on my Polish. His Nizami line infantry charged my voltiges, but I countercharged with my 18th Regiment of Infanterie de Linie, and they took over. My old guards will overflank him now, and he has still his garrison in the forest. He could have moved 1 or 2 units out of there into the middle, but since he is in the forest, but the game is basically already lost, since he has no units to kill my light infantry and old guards, and my line infantry overall has still high numbers. My smaller old guard also charged the Ottoman line and the general staff of the Ottomans, and I reform my center and left wing to chase his remaining units on this side, and I still have 1 chasseur cheval. His left wing broke now, and he has some 46 Nizami infantry unit which came back into the game. So I'm going for his remaining lines now. I've tried to make him form square everywhere and target the general as well. I saw he he charges my unit, so I counter charged. My chasseur cheval are still in the ranks of the Nizamichidit line infantry, while my Polish and Swiss foot shoot them, and this breaks the morale of the Ottomans, and they are on the run. I also routed the remaining unit over here, and the Ottoman general is also out of the game. So this was the game. My Old Guard and Brave Regiment did very good on my right. The other Old Guard did fine as well. And yeah, that was yeah, a nice sacrifice of my lances, but it was necessary. And I like to do some cavalry fight, even if it's like in the beginning, even if it's maybe a um, not the perfect use for the cavalry. But yeah, as I explained with in the battle, he only brought the 3-star general, and with Ottomans against France, you always need to have your general very close to the point where you attack, or in general, but especially where your swords attack. So you make them stay as long as possible in the game, probably even by rallying them before they break. So he missed to do this, but yeah, maybe next time. So good game to him, and see you in the next video. Bye.